don't think I've said this enough times, but I hate the Crucible. I really do. And I hate having to play this fucking bullshit almost as much as I hate having the YouTube order screw my videos telling me to go fuck himself. Now, as you guys know, I've said it plenty of times. However, I had to force myself to play the Crucible, which I'll go into the details of that in a minute. But I'll start with a bit of an update on what videos and why you're going to be seeing them in the future. This is usually the time of year that gaming takes a back seat for me. The weather outside is nice. My weekends are filled with shit to do. You know, people's having barbecues, birthday parties, and all that other good shit. And gaming releases are pretty shitty from now until September. Every now and then you get a decent game that's going to come out, whether it's the spring or the summer months, but normally this time of year is pretty dry. And nothing worse than dry balls over the summer, ain't there? So right now, Destiny is on a mini break so that I can go enjoy some other shit. I have everything in the game. The only time I really play is on Tuesdays after the weekly reset in order to prepare and gather items for the House of Wolves and all the other shit. You know, the DLC is coming out on May 19th or whatever the fuck that shit is. But my little mini break also coincides with me playing MLB The Show. I haven't had a baseball game in years. My Mets are not wretchedly horrible this year. They're not great, they're in first place right now, but certainly not the horrible mess they were a few years ago. So I got back into playing some baseball, and I have missed it for playing this shit for far too long, man. Oh man, it is so good to play some baseball. However, when it comes to baseball, there's not a lot of great content that I could post. It just isn't. I mean, do you really want me to sit here and play for 30 minutes of striking out the damn computer all the damn time? No, man. Consider it's one of the most boring sports to watch in real life, unless you really enjoy that shit. It's even harder to watch it as a video game. So it's not great by any means to make meaningful content out of. I don't stream. I'm not worried about creating a season for my team. It's just not a game that would keep people entertained. I have fun playing it, but I can't imagine people would have fun watching it. And I know there are a number of other games on the horizon that have made people's watch list. Witcher 3 is probably the biggest profile game that's coming up with that group, but I don't plan on getting it. I didn't get the first two, and although the visuals do look impressive, and the games have gotten some pretty good preview reviews so far, there are only so many games that I can buy, and that will not be one of them. The next Batman game is also going to be coming out, but again, it's another game that I didn't get into at the start, and I won't even get into now, even though it's being released at a much better time during the year. I know the reviews have been excellent for the prior ones. However, I'm not going to be playing it. I have MLB The Show to keep me busy now, and that will be my game for the summer months when baseball is in season, as well as that fucking House of Wolves crap, however long that takes. So that being said, just like I did last year with Ghost, I have a shitload of Destiny footage that I've recorded over the past 2 months. And I mean a shitload of footage. It's something like 100 decent games that can be used to show some ass kickers that I hand out. But obviously, I'm not going to post all of them. I will, however, be starting a few funny short series on the motherfucker. And yes, there are some Mission Impossible videos that I still plan on for Destiny. Although, the last one that I just posted up didn't even get 1,000 views. So I'm not sure if that's just the game or the fact that I don't whore out my videos and advertise that shit everywhere I go. So I'll reevaluate that shit in the future whether or not I do another one. But in any event, last year, when I had nothing else to post because I was playing other shit or I was just waiting to buy my PlayStation 4, I was posting old Ghost videos, mainly my free-for-all games. I stopped playing that game shortly after the new year, yet I was continuing to post content for it months later, and that's what I plan on doing here. In between my Hipfire commentary videos, other games that may pop up, and eventually the release of House of Wolves, I'll be using some of the Crucible material that I gathered over the past 2 months, which has plenty of bullshit and a whole bunch of awesome ass kickings. And without a goodbye PlayStation 3 series or a Blueprint series that I plan on doing, I ain't got shit else to do this summer anyways. Now, as for the gameplay videos, I have a number of things that would occur when I played online. Everything from kids thinking they could teabag me and not thinking I wouldn't go back for revenge, stuck with scrubs, carrying horrible kids to victory, come from behind wins that I had no business winning, and those were just some of the best ones. Because I'll tell you right now, the first videos that I plan on doing are comeback videos and teabagging videos because I can get a shitload of content out of those. For those wondering why I subjected myself to that wretched shit online, I've told this story a few times, but essentially, I wanted the grimoire score. Back when the guys at Prestige Gamers weren't sick of the game yet, they weren't burned down on the motherfucker, me, Hatred, and Smelly were racing to get to the highest grimoire possible. Hatred and Smelly played the Crucible more often than I did, so when I got all the points for the environment and the co-op section of the game, the only way I was going to catch them was by playing the Crucible. The only remaining points that I could get were Crucible related items. Hatred beat me to all the environment related points, and he had a few Crucible ones. Smelly doesn't have all the environment challenges, but he had a shitload more Crucible points than I did. So the only way I was going to catch those two was to grind out the Crucible for a few weeks. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and 2 months later, I have every single grimoire point in the game at this point. And believe me, That shit was a pain in the fucking ass. Holy shit, man. The majority of the grimoire points are easy enough, and you just need to keep playing in order to achieve them, such as 5,000 kills of each class, get 5,000 kills of each class. There's no skill involved as long as you can kill a motherfucker, but obviously, the more kills you get, the quicker the challenges will move along. Then there were items like winning 100 of each of the game types. Control was already completed, and I probably thanks to all that time that I spent in that Iron Banner getting all that useless shit. But all the others actually needed a lot of work. The team games would be easy enough because I could rely on better teammates to carry me to victory. Oh man, guys like Lethal, Sanwan, Sky, they carried my ass so many times to victory and shit like Skirmish and Salvage or whatever the fuck it is. Some games, I didn't even need to do anything other than stay alive because they did all the killings. It was glorious. There were games I had 4 kills and Sanwan and Lethal had like 25 kills apiece. I basically just sat back and said, fuck it, go after all the kills so I don't have to worry about this shit. But the one challenge that I knew that I had on my hands that was going to be tough was going to be winning 100 Rumble matches, essentially free-for-all, because there are no teammates. You're on your own to beat 5 other players, and the worst part is that you don't even need to be the best player in the room. You just need to kill those who aren't as good as you. So, I could be the best player in the room, but someone else finds the shittier players before I do, I lose out on those kills, and that motherfucker gets the win. That's just how the game goes, and you guys are going to see there are a whole bunch of games in which that happened to me. Going into the Crucible, I know I sucked. I know my stats weren't great. They were decent, but they weren't anything spectacular, and I needed to find a way to get kills and help teams not lose. Then a funny thing happened. I got a whole lot better at the Crucible. I got the hang of playing the game. I learned how to use certain class specifics. I learned how to use all the cheap tactics, all the nuances to the game, how to lay out a strategy of attack, where to go on the maps. Map knowledge has to be the single biggest thing that you can learn when it comes to any multiplayer game, and I finally got that because this isn't Call of Duty anymore. I can't just run into a room, guns blazing, knowing I have a chance of surviving if I have quicker reflexes and the element of surprise against enemies. Destiny is completely different, and I needed a completely different playstyle. And over the course of the videos that I plan on posting, you're going to see just how much I adapted to playing the Crucible. Because in all honesty, it took me a long time to learn. It took me a shitload of time to master the learning curve. And while I'm certainly not the greatest Crucible player, and I fucking know that, at least at this point, I know that I can hang with almost anybody in any single room. I still got my ass kicked plenty of times, but for the most part, I was able to hold my own in rooms even when I was put with fucking idiots. Oh, believe me, wait till you see the idiots that I got put on certain teams. Oh my god, they were out in full force in this motherfucker. Ah, son of a bitch, man. So over the course of the next few months, unless something else changes, unless the new House of Wolves content has something extraordinary that I can use to post, I highly doubt it since it's always the same shit, I'm going to be posting up my Crucible matches. And trust me, some of these games are going to be fucking worth it. Some of these series are going to be absolutely entertaining, starting with the very first one that'll be on Friday, which is going to be called Don't Teabag Me Bro. And wait till you see what happens when somebody tugs on Superman's cape in this motherfucker. The worst thing you could do is piss me off in a game, because once you piss me off, then I'm going to be out for blood. And you guys are going to see what happens to these motherfuckers that decide they're going to teabag me in this bitch. But anyway, that does it for this video. So as always, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit. And I'll see you guys in the next video.